Daylight was enjoying his time when he was busy working on excursions when passengers wanted to see what steam was like back many years ago. Daylight was very happy that he was doing another excursion today. Well, I hope today will not run into any issues, driver. I know, old boy. Besides, you're a very important part of history, and one of the surviving GS4s along with the rest of your siblings. Nearby the railroad was a small hill. Daylight was nearing the hill and there were some boys on there. Daylight whistled a greeting, but instead of waving, the boys threw stones at Daylight and his passenger coaches. Daylight brought his train to an emergency stop to check if the passengers were okay. What were those guys doing? Were they trying to attack us? I think so, Daylight. Luckily, Daylight and his crew were unharmed, but Daylight and his crew noticed that a couple of Daylight's passenger cars were attacked. A couple of Daylight's passenger coaches had smashed windows in the glass. It was revealed that the boys were using stones as a weapon to attack any train that was passing nearby the hill. And they thought it was a fun way to cause trouble and try to cause damage to railroad property. The passengers weren't hurt, but they were livid. Who do those boys think they are? Attacking trains and people like that. The next time I see those boys, I'm really gonna scold them. Better yet, the police should be involved. They should definitely stop attacking trains and people for once. Thanks, Daylight. We needed that. I know you all want to get back at those boys, but don't worry. Leave that to me and my engine and my partner here. Can you all keep a secret? Yes, of course, absolutely. Well, Daylight is going to sneeze at those boys. He's had a bit of ash in his smoke box earlier, I think that will be a useful idea to get back at those boys. Driver, you're a genius. I know, Daylight. When we get to the next station, Daylight, the passenger car's windows that were attacked or broken are gonna be replaced with new ones. I called some workmen to replace the broken windows. Daylight knew that the boys will get their comeuppance, and he hoped that the plan his driver had formed would work. Daylight headed off to the next station where the workmen were waiting to replace the broken windows. Daylight soon arrived at the station. A lot of people wanted to see what would happen. Daylight has plenty of ashes in his smoke box. Please keep all windows shut when we pass the hill. Daylight is excited as we are. Aren't you, old boy? Mm-hmm. After the windows were replaced, Daylight set off again on his journey. Are you ready, Daylight? Sneeze hard when I tell you. Now, Daylight! What did they do that for? Well done, Daylight! You showed those boys who's boss! Did you see the look in their faces? Priceless! Yeah! After Daylight finished his journey, he headed to the workshop to have his smoke box cleaned out from the ashes and soot. Alan was there. Daylight, I heard that you got attacked earlier. What happened? Alan, the same old thing. Some people trying to cause trouble to the railroad. You know what I mean. As Alan was about to answer, a very angry woman came storming up to Alan and Daylight. You miserable engine! Do you have any idea what you did to my son? He's covered in ashes and soot from your little stunt! Ma'am, your son and his friends were trespassing on railroad property. I'm gonna have to talk to your controller about this. Well, I'm right here. Now, what seems to be the trouble? Your engine had covered my son and his friends in soot and ashes and smoke. He's all dirty thanks to that stunt he pulled. Ma'am, I think the reason why Daylight did it is because they were attacking his train earlier today. And your son has been causing trouble off his friends. He's in trouble for vandalism, trespassing on railroad property, and damages. I think you should talk to your son about his attitude. And be lucky that I'm not charging you. I'm dreadfully sorry. I didn't know. I'll be sure to tell my friends and my son's friends' parents about this. Thank you. And make sure he and his friends don't cause any trouble. Though I don't approve of your method of sneezing at those boys, Daylight, I am happy you made sure they don't trespass on railroad property. But if they do, I will call the cops on them. And Daylight, I know what you've done was intentional, but I'm not gonna punish you. So I'm gonna let you off. You're off the hook, Daylight. Thank you, sir. Well, I'm happy that I taught those boys a lesson. Next time they'll make sure to never trespass on railroad property, because what I did to them of sneezing on them, they'll think twice before messing with us. Daylight. You're the man. Ah, you're the man, Daylight. You showed those boys who's boss. Thanks, Alan. And I did teach them a lesson. And let that be a reminder for them never to trespass on railroad property. Well, I have another job to do. I'll see you later, Alan. See ya, Daylight. As Daylight headed off to do his next assignment, he hoped that next time when he saw the boys, they would think twice before messing with railroad property. Because messing with railroad property is not allowed.